Hello, this is Team Avengers Assembly made up of Ariana, Gabby, Ian, and Ben, and this is our project for Better. We are competing in the automation track and design challenge. Our project purpose is that the COVID-19 pandemic highlights a need to look into mental health diagnosis. With many hospitals being overflowed by COVID-19 patients, many people have not been able to access mental health resources due to priorities being shifted. This has led to a lack of accessibility for mental health diagnostic tools, especially since most people have to work from home now. The technologies used in this project are Figma, HTML/CSS, React, VS Code, and Google ATI.
All right, welcome to our tech demo of our product. When the user first logs onto our website, they'll be presented with a login screen. For the purposes of this demo, I already have a login, username, and password. The users will be given their own as to provide confidentiality for their information. Once logged in, they'll be presented with the home screen of For Better with our little logo and the tagline of our free and online professional mental health pre-diagnosis. In the top left, you can see our logo as well as a link to their dashboard. If you scroll down, you will see how it works, which shows our three basic steps of our process, which is interview, diagnosis, and referrals. The user would start off by going to the interview. This would take them to another page in the site, which would go through a series of questions, which would record the user's input and then pass it along to therapists or an algorithm to parse their results and possibly diagnose anxiety. There are quite a few questions since it is segmented up to reduce the amount of recording done by the user and to save storage space. At the end of it, there is a final survey which takes them to a separate site. They are able to complete this survey. Afterwards, they can head back to the page and go to their results and say, in this case, we were diagnosed. It would say we are likely to have anxiety. That's not official, but would be good to go to an official for official diagnosis. After this, they can head back to home. They go to the referrals page, which, if given more time to implement, we will be able to provide a system that, given a location or a certain zip code, the API will be able to show them the nearest therapy locations to get such a diagnosis for anxiety or other mental health issues. For our project, we decided to design our project around multiple separate pages with very little overlap between them, so as to allow as much abstraction and encapsulation as possible. We had our base homepage, our interview page, our results page, and our reference page, all kind of self-contained so that we could keep them separate while each still having their own purposes. We used a system setup using cores and system storage. While we did not have a database for our login, we would be able to implement one in the future given more time and resources to implement that with logins. Similarly, our interview questions, as you can see on the side, we did have 16 different pages. This allowed for us to have shorter recording of WAV files so that there was less storage taken up during the interview and that we could send the smaller files to the database individually so as to prevent corruption and smaller sets of data being sent. The referrals tab, we wanted to implement the Google Maps API. However, we had issues getting the key implemented, but that would be something we would do in a future implementation, again, given more time and resources to do so.
In terms of impact and improvements, we're hoping that our project will easily connect more people with mental health resources. Instead of being able to wait in a line for hours, people will be able to take our diagnostic tools online and be able to be connected to mental health resources instantly. In the future, we hope to add more mental health diagnostic tests instead of just focusing on anxiety.